Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. The Notorious B.I.G. The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Raw deal.
Puff came out and he grabbed my arm. Yo, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. I say, pray for what? That nigga's dead. And walked out the hospital door.
Raw deal. The last big night.
Hey, this is Big Gene. I'm here with Wisdom Clear again. And my man amplifies is in the studio somewhere doing his thing. You know how he is. He'll pop up at any time. We're here to address the last big night. It's been a lot of situations going on and people been working hard and diligently to try to get this thing out. So I'm at a situation right now that me, myself, I can't spend another dime on it. But me, myself, as a man, and my word is my bond, and back in the day, I get them from my nuts, I gotta give it like I'm supposed to give it. I put people out there, amplifies, Wisdom Clear, Jigger fellas, they all help put this shit together. And I need to address what's actually going down and going to happen. So what we do, we're gonna do a 3-part series, and I'm gonna give you the documentary. And the reason I'm doing this at this point in time is this. If you would see the actual footage, I'm owe $100,000 in what they call footage in which you have to pay for, and I guess that's clearance fees. I owe $200,000 in opt-out insurance. You understand? And the much as I can get is $265,000 for the documentary. So I wasn't in this shit for the money, no way. I put my own money up to do this shit. You understand? It's completed, it's done. You understand? But it's gonna cost too much money. And then I still gotta look at this nigga Diddy, who might sue me for the fact of the matter, stuff is used in there. That's why the opt-out insurance gotta be paid. That's why all these clearance fees gotta be taken care of. But I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna give it to you 100. I can sit right here, tell the story, tell everything I need to tell to get this shit off my heart. And that's what I'm gonna do. You understand? You ain't gonna see nobody dancing in those silver suits. You ain't gonna see you ain't gonna hear the big song that we was trying to get clear. You ain't gonna hear none of the heavy D thing, because the last big night wasn't only about Big's death, it was about my start in the security business. You understand? It was about how I save people that you love, that you hear, that you see lives. You understand? How I put myself out there and I brought people together who wouldn't be together today. You understand? If it wasn't for me bringing them together, talking and letting them see what they need to see, how they can make more money together than they do fighting apart. You know, the people know who I'm talking about. The people who doing videos and songs today that I care not to mention their names. They know it was because my conversation with them that they got a chance to mend their ways with each other. But we're not here for that. We're here to find out about the last big night. So I'm not gonna go into the documentary of my start in this game. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from where me and Wolf was about to go out to Cali. So when I finish telling you this and these whole stories, you're gonna find out and you're gonna know what happened to Wolf. You're going to know what happened to us in Cali, what was going on, the steps that we took, that we made. You're gonna find out what was said about Big, what Big was doing and how Big was reacting, what Big was going on. You're gonna find out what actually happened from the time we got off the plane from New York, left the plane from New York and got to Cali, and when Big got killed and when Big got murdered. You're gonna have all that information. I'm doing that, and the people who's trying to work on the selling shit, man, I'm tired. I'm not putting no more of myself trying to get this done. So the information, you bloggers, you guys who want to take like you know what's going on, well, like you know what went down, and you want to run with it. Some of you wasn't even born then. Some of them you never come out behind your computer. You want to, size me up. You want to mention my name. You want to do, man, I don't give a shit about none of that, bruh. I'm on the streets in the Bronx, Manhattan, all the time. Mount Vernon. I fuck with a lot of niggas from Money On in Mount Vernon. Some of the best rappers come from Westchester, the best rappers in the Bronx, best rappers in Manhattan. I fucks with all of them. And they know me. And I'm talking about the older guy. I'm talking about the ones who was making music in the late 90s, in the 90s, and the early 2000s. I don't have to mention their names. So what I'm gonna do at this time, I'm gonna start this off and I'm gonna let you know what was going on and what was happening with this whole East Coast, West Coast thing. Now, people don't even know why the East Coast, West Coast beef really got to that point. And a lot of it had to do with Pac and Big relationship. You understand? Pac was dealing with some cats that was from Brooklyn. And Big was like, he was the type of dude that he was trying to make music, but he didn't want to be involved with the dudes that Pac was dealing with because they was no good for what he was trying to do in his music career. But Big couldn't tell Pac, his man, that because he felt that Pac was the type of dude that if he would have told Pac about these cats, Pac would have ran back and said something to them, then Big would have had a beef that he had to deal with. And Big was trying to make music at that time. He didn't want to be in, all that street shit was over for him. You understand? So Pac's still running with these dudes in the whole 9 yards. So Big could not say nothing to him. So when the same dudes that he was running with and somebody sent them at Pac or whatever like that, or they got at Pac or whatever, Pac want to blame Big for his shit. He knew Big ain't had nothing to do with it. Listen to Pac music. He pours his heart and he tells his stories in his music. You understand? And one of the stories, he tells of the guys who went at him and why they went at him. You know the song. And if you don't, do your history. I'm not giving it to you. Look at his shit. He'll tell you who shot him, why he was shot. He say key things and everything. So now, Big and him got a little problem and everything like that. But the problem start with Puff and Suge. One day we was somewhere, I think we were downtown, and Wolf brought this magazine to Puff. And it had his baby mama and his child in there with Suge. And the caption on the magazine said, "What the East Coast won't take care of, the West Coast will." What the East Coast won't take care of and the West Coast will. And it was Suge Knight with Misa, Puffy baby mama, and she had Justin in her arm. This shit pissed Puff off like crazy. This motherfucker almost popped a vein in his neck. He called Misa and she was everything but a child of God. So Puff was livid. He was going crazy behind that shit. So it was never no talking to Suge and Pac them about stopping all this bullshit, because when they had guys that could have stopped and they had meetings about it to come together, he was never going to come to the meeting no way. He never was going to be a part of it because he felt like he would have to owe somebody something for stopping it. The cats who could have stopped the bullshit and had them do their thing and we do our thing, he felt like he was going to owe them something. So I guess it was better for them to lose their lives than them to be out there. So this whole Cali trip comes up, and me, I ain't turning down nothing but my collar most of the time. So when they was talking about we was going out to Cali and everything, and what they was gonna do, I ain't have a problem with it. I knew I was gonna come back home. I took an overlong time. I'd rather be, judged by 12 than carried by 6. I know ain't nothing beats the ambush. I know all these rules and regulations that you're supposed to follow. And then I was told we wasn't going nowhere. We was gonna chill at the hotel, we was gonna chill at the studio, and that was it. So I didn't have a problem doing that. Go to Soul Train, you understand? Chill at the hotel, go to the studio. That what was told to me. But it was far different when we got out there. Trust and believe. So I called Anthony Wolf Jones because I had our itinerary for us to fly out to Cali. And I said to Wolf, I said, yo, Wolf, what time you gonna get to the airport? And Wolf said to me, airport? He said, I ain't going. I was like, what do you mean you ain't going? I got the itinerary, I got your ticket right here. They gave me your ticket, you know, everything. He said, I ain't going, G. He said, I asked Puff to give me 2 tour buses so I could take me and all my fellas, and this is all the guys he had from, I guess, Co-op City, Edomore Projects, the Valley dudes, because Wolf was heavy in the Valley. You understand? He had those dudes who was ready to get busy no matter what. They was his family. They was his friends. And, you know, they used to always come to the party, you know, dressed in their minks, they gators, the whole 9 yards. And they used to follow Wolf. That was their boy like that. You understand? So now Wolf says, I ain't going, G. He said, I can't tell you how to make your money, but I'm not going. Because if he not going out there right, I'm not going out there at all. I said, all right, dude, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna roll with them. And that's where we at. So, me and Diddy get on the plane. We're headed to California. He gives me his briefcase, takes his seat in first class. I go to coach. In between, in the middle of the flight, I get bored as fuck, but I got his briefcase. So I go in the briefcase, and it's got, you know, contracts and everything like that, and it's got big contracts. So, you know, I'm just reading it just to have something to do, being nosy in a motherfucker. And I go in and they start talking about what Big was going to get paid and everything like that. And it was saying something about, you know, signing the contract, you're going to get $250,000. And then if the contract go gold or platinum, or they had different increments in which he was going to get another $250,000. Just this money he was going to get from how well the album does. You know, and they had shit about him being a sophomore album, and that it was, you know, and it usually talking about how they don't usually go well, but if his go well, what he would get. And at the end of the contract, it had something about marketing and publishing. And it had reference to the fact that he was going to get that back, or they were going to discuss him getting that back, you know, or the part in which Puff owed. So, you know, we get off the plane, we go, you know, so we staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And Big and them is at the Four Seasons. So now Big is there with his crew and everything like that. And, you know, we supposed to be going to the studio, do a little studio time and things like that. And as we are, you know, going back and forth, just me and Puff. Puff was running around, you know, and he was having meetings with Will Smith, and he was just, I guess he was trying to get into the acting thing too, stuff like that. So he was just taking meetings and things, going back and forth. So we was really never with Big and them. He was just having Big on the telephone, say, yo, you going to the studio? Your studio is booked right here, booked right there. And we were just going everywhere. Just like, I mean, like we was running around Cali like this kid ain't have a care in the world. You understand? It was this one incident in which we were in the limousine and we were going down Melrose and we see Dr. Dre and a friend of his just sitting out at the cafeteria eating. And Puff seen him, he stopped. And he stopped the limousine and everything. So he was gonna go and talk to Dre and them. And we was about, Dre and them was way across the street and we was getting out the limousine. And this little, I guess he was Chicano, Mexican or something like that. He was surprised to see Puff, and he went up to him, he said, yo, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. And Puff was like, yeah. And the dude was like, fuck you, Tupac, and took off running. This nigga Puff ran down the block at the old boy. And I'm like, wow. So I'm chasing this motherfucker. I'm chasing him, chase this guy. And this is a little kid and everything like that. And I was like, yo, man, we got like a block and a half away. I said, bruh, what the fuck is wrong with you? What was you chasing this kid for? He said, I don't even know. He said, I don't even know, Gene. I was bugging the fuck out. I said, yeah, you was. So we went across the street, got back up there, went across the street, we talked to Dr. Dre and them. You know what I'm saying? We left. Dre told me, yo, you need anything, let him know, whatever like that. Swoop-de-whoop. They shot the Willie Bobo. He got back in the car and we left. So now, this whole time, you know, he on the phone, you know, still with Big. Yo, you going to the studio? You know, don't waste my studio time, because Big was out there, you know, to do the Soul Train shit. And he was out there to do his video. He was shooting Hypnotize. So now, you know, the next day come up, we're on, I think, First Street, and they shooting this garage scene. When we first came in, they were shooting this garage scene. So Big and his crew is around, and at the time, you know, this was around 90, it was 96 or whatever like that, and I was smoking Newport cigarettes. And it was 97 at the time, right? And I was smoking Newport cigarettes, and I had the box joints. And in Cali, they only had they can only find the ones that was made off the soft pack, but they taste different. So when I broke out with the box joints, everybody wanted the cigarette. So being who I was, like, yo, fuck it, I ain't giving y'all nothing. And the big was like, yo, Gene, give me a cigarette, man. I said, man, I ain't giving you nothing, bro. And just took a hit off the cigarette and then just looking and laughing at these niggas. And then now, you know, Puff don't like cigarette smoke, so he see me smoking. Yo, Gene, you smoking? Nah, I ain't smoking. Put it out. But Big could smoke. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no problem for Big and smoke. I said, yeah, all right. So then D-Rock was like, yo, you ain't giving my man no cigarette? I said, no, I ain't giving him nothing. Yo, Big was like, yo, Gene, give me a cigarette, man. I said, all right, so tell me who chasing you. He said, because y'all doing all these chase scenes around here. Who the fuck chasing you? And nigga just came out the top of his head and said, yo, them face lawyers, they looking for some child support. And then all the niggas, all their crew started laughing and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, all right. Gave the nigga a cigarette. So now we go down to the street level. And they doing it with the motorcycles and everything like that. We come out the garage because they finished shooting that garage scene where, you know, Puff and Big, and then they say, oh shit. So then we go to the street and we shoot the street level. So on the street level, I get a phone call, you know, and I get a phone call and it's Dawn Farrow. I knew Dawn, you know, because she used to come always Puff parties, and Puff used to, you know, like fuck with her back in the day. Whatever, whoop-de-whoop, however they did it, you know, Puff used to be with her, you know, when she come to New York or whatever like that. So we was shooting the street scene, and then I noticed wasn't no motherfucking security. I'm like, you got the camera people and everything like that. So you had me, Paul, and like 2 other guys, and we shooting a major video in Cali. So I called Kirk Burroughs. At this time, Kirk Burroughs was the president of Bad Boy. You understand? Where Puff was the CEO, Kirk Burroughs was the president. And I was like, yo, Kirk, you know what I'm saying? You know we in California and ain't no motherfucking security. He said, yo, Gene, I'm gonna get back with you and everything like that. I said, yo, all right, man, get back with me. So now, Dawn Farrow had gave me a phone call. She had this dude named Unique on the phone. Unique used to run a crew and a club called Mecca Audio, and he used to do parties at Club 2000 on Monday nights. He the one brought Dre, Snoop there. He used Onyx, you understand? He was doing the Luke thing, but he was doing the East Coast style at Club 2000 Monday nights. Crazy. If you could get in that shit wall to wall. So now, Unique calls me because me and Unique had a little thing, whereas that, you know, I would set him up and tell him how to do his security. I would never work for him because Unique had a wild bunch, man, and I was never putting myself in that position, you know, with him. But we was cool. He said, yo, Gene, you know, how many security you know? He used to ask me questions, yo, what you think I'm gonna need, what this and that, and I'll say, yo, I'll look at it and I'll let you know. And you know, he used it, he didn't. But we had another incident where him and Dougie Fresh, you know, had a situation, you understand? And that's where that song, Hey Ho, Aight came from, you understand? Enough respect for 112, with respect for the Mecca Audio crew. I squashed the beef between them two. I let them squash the beef themselves and let them come together, you understand? And I brought them together to squash the beef that they had. So now I get a call, Dawn got Unique on the phone. And Dawn said, I said, yo, what's up, Unique? He said, yo, Big Gene, what up? I said, I'm in Cali. He said, yeah, I know. Dawn told me, vest up. And the phone went dead. I said, oh, shit. So I called back and I said, yo, Dawn, that was Unique? She said, yeah, that was Unique. I said, I didn't know you knew Unique from Mecca Audio. You know, Waynesworth Hall. He said, yeah, I know him. I said, yo, he was telling me the vest up. He said, yeah, Gene, them niggas is coming to get y'all. I was like, oh, shit. So I called Kirk Burrows back on the phone. I said, Kirk, we in the middle of California and we ain't got no security. You understand? It's me, Paul, Kenny, you understand? And, you know, D-Rock, but that's Big's man. He ain't security. You know, we don't have enough security. What's going on? He said, yo, Gene, I told you I'm going to call you back. I'm going to talk to Puff. See, can I get y'all more security? He calls me back. He said, yo, Puff ain't getting no more security. Yeah, I said, oh, shit. I said, all right. So now, we shooting this whole night scene and everything like that. You seen the video hypnotized and everything like that, and everything was cool. So I'm thinking that, okay, shoot the video, we go back to the hotel and everything like that. And that's what Big went. Big was going, whenever he wasn't working, he was in the hotel, the radio station, or the studio. You can't show me, other than that vibe party, you cannot show me nowhere or nothing where Big was out partying. Me and Puff was at the House of Blues. You understand? Me and Puff was at the Century. Me and Puff was going to movie theaters. You understand? We was doing it all. We was going everywhere that he wanted to go. Like I told before, I thought the kid had a death wish. You understand? We were doing a lot of things that we shouldn't have. But Big was never at not one party we went to. Not one party Big was at. So now, Puff is doing his thing. He's with Sally Richardson at the time. You know what I'm saying? We going to the movies. We going to dinners, little lounges and everything like that. They shooting, they still shooting Hypnotized video, and we're about to do the scenes where Big is in the white suit and it's the mermaids and the fish and all this shit going on. So, this particular day, Puff leaves me with Big. We're in the Winnebago. D-Rock goes with Puff. Now, Puff never left me with Big ever. You know what I'm saying? And Big Crew is usually around or something like that. But this particular day, it was just Big and me, and we in the Winnebago. And I was like, I felt that shit to be funny that Puff left me with him because he never done that before. So Big is going over some contracts and everything like that. And then he asked me for another cigarette. I knew, well, yo, Gene, let me get one. He had the soft packs, but he didn't have the box thing. So he said to Gene, he said, yo, Gene, let me get another cigarette. So my man, I'm not giving you nothing, bruh. Damn, man. She asked me for cigarettes for, bro. Don't you got cigarettes? He said, you know them shits don't take the same. Give me a cigarette. I said, yeah, all right, man. Here goes a cigarette, man. So he was talking like that. He was like, he was talking about, you know, his contracts. He said, yo, man, you a good dude, Gene. He said, I would take you with me, man. But you love that nigga Diddy. You love that nigga Puffy so much. You know what I'm saying? Man, get out of here, man. He said, yeah. I said, man, I'm going where the money at. He said, nah, you ain't going where this money at. I said, nigga, you broke. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You got money. He said, look at this right there. So he showed me a contract. And I think at the time, the contract was for either $62 or $6.2 million. It had Junior Mafia, Little Kim, the Commission, I think Tracy Murray or Tracy, something like Murray, and Cameron. He started telling me about Cameron. He said, yo, Cameron, he felt like Cameron was the best rapper from Harlem. You understand? The nigga loved Cameron. He said he didn't like Mace, and they tried to play it up like Puff tried to play it like him and Mace. Nah, he ain't give a fuck. He said, yo, he said this voice. He said, yo, listen here. He told me that day, he said, yo, how you change a nigga Mace? He was Murder Mace, now he just Mace. You know what I'm saying? They used to get on him like that, you know what I'm saying? So he felt Cameron was the better rapper, and he had signed Cameron, or I thought he signed Cameron. So now he going over to his contracts and everything like that. And then he was telling me about how close him and Lil Kim was. You understand? And the things that he did, on Lil Kim album, and that, if Diddy would have known the extent that he would have had to pay for the publishing, but since he didn't put it in his name and stuff like that, Diddy couldn't do nothing about it. So I was saying to the nigga like this, I was like, so what is publishing? You understand? Because I seen it on his contract that Diddy owned his publishing, or some of his publishing like that. He said, that's when, if I write something for somebody, you have to, I would have to get paid for that. But since he owned a percentage, or he owned the publishing, he get paid for it. I said, oh shit. He said, it's different from the marketing shit. So he explained the marketing thing. He said, the marketing is where you see my face or something like that on a poster, or you see me on I'm doing something for like, what was that beer out that he was doing it from? St. Ives or whatever like that. He gets paid for that from the marketing thing like that. I said, oh, okay, all right, shit like that. Then the phone rang, you understand? And it was his mother on the phone. So then him and his mother was having the conversation. I said, you want me to step out? He said, no, you good. So then he said his mother was talking about this contractor that said that he don't pay $60,000, that he was gonna stop building the house. So then Big said, nah, he ain't gonna stop building nothing, Mom, just give me the number. And she just kept going on, and he said, yo, Mom, he ain't gonna stop building nothing. Give me the money, give me the number, and I'm gonna have some people call him. So he got off the phone with his mother after they had that conversation about the contract, and I said to him, damn, bruh, smoking a cigarette, you owe everybody. The fuck is you, broke, bruh? You owe Mike Gadget $30,000 for the trucks and everything like that. So he looked at me with the strange look in his face. He's like, yo, oh shit, how you know that, bruh? I said, man, come on, niggas talk, big. He said, oh, that shit is fucked up. Hey, this is Big Gene. I'm back with Raw Deal 2, The Last Big Night, the second installment. I left you guys, me and Big was in the Winnebago, and we were talking about, his relationships. We were talking about situations with his group. Big was just giving me a lot of information, and I was kind of wondering why this kid is talking to me like that, because every time me and Big used to be around with each other, it was basically with Puff, or it was at concert times, or studio, things like that. When I'm, with Puff going back and forth, we were never like, I ain't hang out with them. They were much younger than me. So, this kid was just pouring out his life to me, telling me about, his relationships, situations, like an issue that we had out there in Cali that time. And that was with Charlie Baltimore and him. Whereas that I kind of feel like, in a sense, Big may be still alive today. Had he went to jail that day, we had an incident in a hotel. We was in a 4-star hotel, and me and Puff was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and Big was staying at the 4-star. And him and Charlie Baltimore had got into it at this particular time, where she had seen some pictures that she didn't like, and she kept it gangster. Went at him, and next thing you know, Big Rolex watch, his Rolex watch and his ring is out the window. We found the watch, but we never found the ring. So next thing you know, the police is coming up there. And, the complaint was made, but Charlie ain't say nothing to the police. She kept it gully, But me and Puff was sitting up there talking to the cops while they were sneaking Big out the door from the next room. So I feel kind of bad about that. And I was like, when we was talking about, I was joking with him and everything like that. So that's when he said, yo, that's my girl, man. That's my Charlie, my girl. You know, I fucks with her. And I said, what's up with Kim then? He said, no, that's my bitch. You know, Kim is down for, you know, with me, you know, for everything. You know what I'm saying? He was just expressing, you know, how he was going to keep Little Kim and C's and as Junior Mafia and the rest of the guys, if they wasn't ready to work and put in the business part of the shit, that he was going to get a whole new Junior Mafia. He said that himself. He said, they got to work, you know what I'm saying? They got to write and they got to put in what they need to, because this is about business now. You understand? And he was telling me that he could not be mad at Puff, you understand, because of Puff showed him how to get money. You understand? He said that first contract I had was bullshit, and the people that was working for me at that given time, they really didn't know what they were doing. So that's how I ended up having to sell my marketing and my publishing. So then we went through that, you know, he told me what that was in the whole 9 yards. So now, in the back of my mind, you know, I'm having a dilemma about, you know, talking to Big, you know, because I know prior to this whole situation, while we in the Winnebago, he was telling me, you know, how things is going to be different. He was, you know, praising Puff and everything like that. But I heard Puff, you know, like, wish death on this kid. I didn't think none of it at the time, but because I just thought Puff was mad and what he said out of his mouth. So, you know, this was way back at the first Soul Train Awards thing that we had went to. When Big and Tupac was alive at this time, Tupac and Big got at it at the Soul Train Award when Pac came out, and you know, with Suge Knight and everybody like that, and you know, I wasn't out there, but this is the part that I'm telling you. I heard. Me and Puff was inside the venue at the time, but my man Bond was right there. He was a good friend of mine, like my brother and everything. He was right there, and he said, Pac said some shit to Big. Big said, and so what? You know what I'm saying? Pac was like, yo, now you're on the West Coast. And then Big said, and so what? You know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, somebody do a gunplay, and the FOIs get in between and break it up. And Pac and Suge them, you know, they get past Big them go to their limousines and everything like that. So me and Puff is left in the venue. But we hear it on the radio that, over the radio, that there's an altercation with Bad Boy and Death Row in the parking lot. So me and Puff is running that way. So I'm like this. I'm like, damn. So as we running, we get cornered and stopped by some dudes from the Nation of Islam. It was about 6 or 7 of them. And it was just me and Puff. So this one guy, he was about Puff's size, but he was a light-skinned brother. You know, he was trying to talk to Puff. Puff said, I can't talk to you right now, and because I got a situation outside. And the dude and them like surround us. And so Puff was like, yo, bro, I can't talk to you right now. So he was trying to impede us from going. So I'm like, yo, listen here, bro, what's this all about? What? And so now Farrakhan's son, Mustafa, who's a good friend of Puff and us, he sees it. So he comes over and he says to this brother, you know, Puff says to Mustafa, tell this brother that, you know, everything is cool with me and everything like that, everything good. Mustafa said, brother, just hold up, you know what I'm saying? And the dude was adamant about, you know, trying to get at Puff, and I didn't know what it was about at the time, you know what I'm saying? So dude was like, you know, nah, you know, just talking to Mustafa like that. Mustafa said, brother. And then next thing you know, the dude was still going at it. So Mustafa got in dude's chest, hard body, say, brother. And then next thing you know, a lot of other guys from the Nation of Islam came around and stuff like that. And then me and Puff left. But I could see on this dude's face something wasn't right. You understand? So me and Puff, we was walking down the corridor, and next thing you know, from afar, you could see Suge and Tupac them coming that way. So now I'm like, damn. So I look at Puff, and Puff was on my right side at this given time. So I said, yo, bruh, but he was behind me. yo, just take care of my family. I got this shit, right? So now we walking. So they coming forward. Now we going down this long-ass corridor, and next thing you know, you see the TV vans and all the media vans and everything. They were off to the left of me. You understand? Suge was coming towards the right of me and everything like that. So this is corridor in the back, and you can actually jump down there, the little walkway. You could jump down there and be in back of the TV vans. So me and Puff was right when I said, Puff, yo, I got these dudes, man. And so then I just put my hands inside my jacket, and yo, I had Nina and Nene. Both of them had 15 and a big loudmouths ready to go. You understand? All I had to do was touch them, and it is what it is. At that given time, you know, I was ready to give up my life and what I had for Puff. No doubt about it. Everybody knew that. He never got any situations, any problems with me. You understand? He was part of the same gang. I'm same gang. You understand? He was a part of that. You understand? So I was ready to, you know, it wasn't about no bodyguard. I've always been a boss type dude. Started the same gang. Was with Slick and the Family and 12th Street Posse. You understand? Played on the basketball team with that. So everybody from Harlem basically knew. And they knew when I worked with Puff and I was with Puff, he was good. Anytime we did parties or anything, I'm always going to have who? 10, 15 guys from same gang. Slick and the Family there. My dude, he home now. God bless him, Jim Ice. He was at the parties. You understand what I'm saying? I got 20, 30 guys at the parties whenever I'm doing security. Outside of security. They just my dudes like that. And they know I'm one of the head dudes in the whole clan. I started the same gang with my man D. Ferg, Mike Cock, Rick Daw, Tone Wop, Tabadoo. You understand? We started that up. We started the Bear Mountain picnics and all that stuff. Guys having fun, you know, taking money from the streets, putting it back into the community. So now, you know, I'm ready to give all what I have up. I'm good. You understand? Because this was my dude at the time. So I said, yo, man, just take care of my family. I got this. I'm not taking no ass whipping from no 15, no 20 guys. No, I'm not doing that. You understand? It don't make no sense, especially when I got Nene and Nay on me. Not at all. So now, Puff behind me, and next thing you know, he dips to the left, and I see him jump down into the embankment and just start running. So Suge is coming up. They about 40, 50 feet, a little bit long. I guess they ain't see him because, you know, I'm a big dude. So I just played the wall, and they walked by me. They ain't know who I was. And if they did, they ain't say nothing. Because Pac was getting an award at this time. I think he was the best rapper of the year or something like that for Soul Train or something. You understand? So now, I let them walk on by. Puff is running. Now I see Puff go across the parking lot. Because I'm not jumping down in the back in the truck. I see him run across the parking lot. So as he runs across the parking lot, I just walk straight. I see him getting in the limousine. So me and my man Bond gets in the limousine because Big and them had left him. You know what I'm saying? Their team had left him. So he gets in the limousine with me and Puff. Puff was on the phone asking, yo, what happened? This, that, and that. What's going on? What's happening? What's going on? We was quiet. We go back to the mansion, the house he had rented. So Puff, you know, me and Bun goes through the house, make sure wasn't nobody there. Puff's still in the car. He comes out, we say, you good, bruh. So he goes up, he starts going up the steps. Now I gets on the phone with Chaz Williams, who's over Black Hand. So I'm explaining the whole situation to Chaz about, you know, what just happened at Soul Train. And Chaz says, yeah. I said, yo, man. I told this nigga Puff I got these dudes, and he took off running.
And Puff was way upstairs, and I didn't even think he heard me. Puff said, "Yo, Gene, who you talking to?" I said, "Chaz, why?" He said, "Why you telling him I ran? I ain't run. You should have just told him I took a left." I said, "You took a left?" He said, I started laughing. Chaz said, "What'd he say?" I said, "Yo, Chaz," he said, "I should have told you just took a left." And then Chaz started laughing and everything like that. So then that's when Puff came down the stairs. And Puff like, "Yo, Gene, I got like 127 employees. All these people depend on me for their livelihood." He said, "If those white folks even think or knew that I had anything to do with any kind of gunplay, they're not going to fuck with me. They're not going to spend no money with me. I'm about making money, taking care of people, and having people take care of their families." And I said, you right. I got you on that. You understand? He said, "But I'm tired of living like this." And as he was going up the steps, he said, "But I'm tired of living my life like this. I'm tired of living my life like this." And he said this shit verbatim. He said, "I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die. I don't give a fuck if Big gotta die." He said, "I don't give a fuck if Suge Knight gotta go to jail. I'm tired of living my life like this, and something gotta change." Now, at the time, I didn't know that was some kind of self-fulfilling prophecy this dude was making. But what he said that particular day, all that shit came true and to life. And the shit is eerie and scary to me right now. But like I said before, I wasn't the only one that heard him say it. My man Bun heard him say the same thing. Because Bun was like, "Yo, wow, that nigga said big." I said, "Yeah." And on everything I love, that came out of his mouth. That nigga said big.
Yo, Don, what's up? What's going on? Yo, I just wanted to let the people know that he was out there at the same time when Pac and Big had that little incident. And I just wanted to let you know, where you was at the time when Big was out in California. Well, we was at it was the Soul Train Awards. My first time out in sunny Cali. First and last time. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we was out in the parking lot. Dave was waiting, I guess he was waiting to either go on or he was waiting to go back to the hotel or whatever the case may be. But then Suge pulled up with Pac. They had a little entourage. Pac was screaming out of the "Yo, you on the west side now?" Just a whole bunch of crap trying to antagonize Big. Big standing there. Some old black woman walked up to Big and said, "Oh, it's getting ready to be on now." Big looked at her and said, "Listen, ma, I ain't no punk." One thing led to another. They got out. We had a little scuffle, a little altercation with Suge, Pac. FOI came over, broke it up, and then we got out of there. All right, so now, me and you both rode back to the mansion with Puff, correct? That's right. All right, so now, I was on the phone with Chaz after Puff was in the car. He was trying to talk to Big, man, on the phone, and Big kept hanging up on him, and whatever. So we got back to the mansion. I was talking to Chaz, and I told Chaz how the nigga ran on me. Yeah, he said that on you. He said, "You have to tell him I ran. I did. Or I took a left." Yeah, correct. Right. But when Puff came downstairs and he was talking to me and telling me how many people he, take care of and everything like that, what did you hear him say, after we had our conversation? Puff was heated. Puff was heated with the whole situation. Puff was mad. Puff said, "Listen, I don't know if Pac is going to die. I don't know if Big is going to die. I don't know if that nigga Sugar's going to go to jail. But something's got to happen. I can't live like this. I can't keep living like this." Right, that came out of his mouth, correct? That's what Puff said. Now, what did you say after Puff walked up the steps and said that shit? Wow. That nigga said big. You remember that? You said, yeah. Wow, that nigga said big. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to know. And today, to see that shit come into fruition, didn't that fuck you up too?
Well, you know what they say. The word of mouth is strong, though. Once you put something out in the air, once you let it go out your mouth, you can't control what happens. So sometimes it's best to just not say nothing. You know?
Well, I just wanted to put that out there. I thank you because everybody think that I made that shit up. That, you know, because it came true. You know, it's crazy to me after all these years that something like that will come into fruition. And like my man always told me, that was from self-serving prophecy. If he said it out of his mouth from self-serving prophecy, he said, and shit, it is what it is. You know, he put that in the universe. But I hate it. But anyway, thanks, man. I appreciate it, bro.
No problem, though. Talk at you.
All right, peace.
Going back to the Winnebago, we at the second Soul Train Award, I'm sitting here in the Winnebago with Big. Do I tell him anything about what Puff said or what Puff did? Puff could have went to the meeting, you know, prior to Tupac getting killed, or he could have sent some kind of representative. You understand? People don't know this. Pac didn't do that song Hit 'Em Up because Pac wanted to do Hit 'Em Up. Pac did Hit 'Em Up because Pac was told to do Hit 'Em Up. That meeting that they had, see, some people know this who in tune with the shit that was happening in New York with Death Row, with the California thing. See, Death Row was finna start Death Row East Coast. And that was going to be headed by Eric B., and I'm going to say the dude named BD. You understand? Serious man, serious brother. He's a gentleman, but he's about his business. He ain't playing them games. He was going to be over Death Row East Coast with Eric B. They was getting tired of Pac talking about New York dudes and New York niggas and shit like that. And they had that meeting because Suge was there. Suge was not even on the East Coast, at the West Coast at the time. He was on the East Coast having this meeting with those cats about the Death Row East Coast thing. So then they called back out to the West Coast and had Pac do Hit 'Em Up, and Pac was supposed to address everybody he was talking to. Because how you going to have Death Row East Coast and you talking about they're stationed in New York, and you talk about New York niggas ain't this, ain't that, New York niggas is this way and stuff like that. So Pac was told to address everybody that he was talking to and talking about. That's how Hit 'Em Up came about. You understand? So people who don't think that meeting took place, it took place because that night they was at the Mirage. You understand? When Pac got the message to do Hit 'Em Up, Suge Knight, Zip, Eric B, all the rest of those guys, BD, Black Hands, all those people, they was at the Mirage partying. Puff get a phone call while we in LA. He called Zip. He said, yo, Zip, I heard y'all out there partying with Suge them and everything like that. Zip was like, I can hear Unc like, yo, what? Because I'm right there next to him. You can hear it from what? And Unc just hung up the phone on the nigga. Like, you don't tell me what to do. And I told Uncle, I said, Uncle, I was right there when you hung up on the nigga when he was asking y'all, talking about y'all making him look bad. You understand? So, you know, that could have been avoided if Puff wanted to. Even before the Hit 'Em Up shit came about. The Hit 'Em Up shit came about to stop, you know, Pac from talking about just all New York niggas and address the people. If you listen to the music, he addressed everybody he was talking about, and all that whole New York shit stopped. So me and Big talked about that. You understand? And Big said adamantly, yo, the next nigga to say my name out their mouth, I'ma tear their ass up. You understand? I got some shit for him. Because he wouldn't say nothing because Puff was holding him back from saying it. Big never really addressed none of that bullshit, you know, because, you know, Puff was holding him back for that. You know, because everybody know he had some shit. He had some shit. He wanted to represent Brooklyn to the heart, to the fullest. So now, we in the Winnebago, you know, Big was telling me, yo, I said, man, I know that fucked you up with the Pac shit. You know what I'm saying? When he died, he was like, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and Lil C's got so motherfucking fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I let Lil C's drive. Lil C's don't even drive. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, you know, Big went through the window of the car. You know, so he almost went through the window of the car when they had that accident. You understand? And Big couldn't hardly get around while we was out in Cali. Because I don't know what you call both of his thigh bones was either fractured or broken at one time. You understand? So it was crutches and stuff like that for Big. You know, like the cane and everything like that. You know, Big, it was hard for Big to get around. So he wasn't going to nowhere. He wasn't going to no parties and nothing like that. You understand? He addressed that whole thing. And with the thing with Pac, I was like, yo, well, dog, that was your man. He was like, yeah, man, but like I had said before, you understand? Pac, if I would have told Pac about those dudes, you know, that he was running with, he would have told them, then I would have had the problem. And I just want to do my music. All right, cool. We understand that. You understand? And he said, Pac thought I had money that I didn't have. So when Jasmine Guy and Will Smith, wife Jada Pickett, when they was, you know, trying to, you know, get money up for, you know, Pac bail and everything like that, they couldn't, you know, Big ain't have nothing to give them. And I guess, you know, somebody claiming I'm king of New York, or, you know, guys use that slang and stuff like that, and you don't have no money to come up with, dudes, you know, your man's them bail and everything like that, they gonna sit back and, you know, behind bars and think shit. So we in the Winnebago, and I'm saying to myself, so do I tell this kid that this nigga Puff wished death on him? But Puff is my man. Do I say that? I couldn't do that because I knew Big was going to say something to Puff. Because he did it when D-Rock told him I blew an L with him. You understand? He said, oh yeah, Gene blew an L. And that's when I told Puff, oh yeah, but you wrote Lil' Kim shit, right? It is what it is. So now, me and Big, you know, he was giving me my props and everything like that. How he noticed how I am around Puff and everything like that. Like I'm, you know, no game. What he ain't understand is that I was always been that serious dude. I understand the rules to this whole game. You understand? I'm not no bodyguard. It's no bodyguard. You understand? Even though I got potential, even though I know the rules, I know what to do and how to do things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I protected him like I was his big uncle. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could infiltrate that at no given time. Whatever Puff told me, you know, I did. You understand? Even with the fact that, you know, when Puff used to give his parties and everything like that, I used to be the one that Russell Simmons would be at the door. Puff would already tell me, yo, don't let Russell, if Russell ain't dressed right. And he knew Russell was coming in jeans and sneakers. You know, Puff would be telling me, yo, if Russell don't dress right, don't let him in. If Chris Lighting and the other dude, what's that dude he hit in the head with the bottle? He used to always be with Chris Lighting all the time. Slips my mind. If they don't, when they come, let them leave them outside, Gene, and come and get me. And they used to be fired. They used to be mad, the motherfucker. But that's the type of dude I was. Jesus Christ had to come down and take the breath out of my body, you know, if I would have allowed anything or anybody to go against what Puff was saying. So, you know, I didn't have that relationship with Big where I was going to say anything about Puff to him at the time. You understand? And here this kid, yeah, he was pouring his heart out to me. You know, and I know he had love for me because when we took that picture, me and him and Puff, and I didn't know I was even in it. When we was at the Soul Train Awards, that nigga looked at me, and when he said this out of his mouth, I knew he had love for me. He said, nigga, you look like you from Brooklyn now. Yeah, that shit is nice. I had the black and white Stetsons on, the black suit with the black and white Versace tie. You understand? Killing with the Versace glasses. He was like, yo, nigga, you look like you was from Brooklyn. So I knew at that time, Big had a lot of love for me. You know what I'm saying? And what I did. So I asked him, I said, yo, Big, can I get in the Hypnotize video? He said, yeah, man, you can get in that shit. Yeah. Why not? I said, all right, cool. So they was running late with shooting the Hypnotize video, and I know I had to get on that red eye. So I didn't make the video shoot, so I went to New York for a couple of days. You know, I went back to New York for a couple of days. So I get back into New York, and I stay for like 2 days, and on the third day, I'm on the red eye coming back to Cali. So now we get back out there, Mace, all of them is out at Cali. Stevie J, you know, Groovy Lou, everybody's in Cali. So I see Mace and Stevie J at the across the street from the House of Blues. It was this club, this hotel. I don't know if it was it the Bellagio? Well, no, it wasn't the Bellagio. It's a hotel right across the street from the House of Blues. It's all white. The name escapes me right now, but fucking Stevie J and Mace and some other cat pull up in a drop-top Mercedes. I pull Mace to the side. I say, my man, do you know where the fuck you at? I say, you in California. You a meal ticket to some of these cats. You driving around in a drop-top Mercedes, nigga, they'll peel your head to the white meat. The fuck is wrong with you? Then May said to me, yo, you know, I kind of thought that, man, but Stevie J said his man that was right here was real strong and we was good. I said, yeah, man, you ain't good. You from Harlem, man, you supposed to know better. You know what I'm saying? He said he had told me, yo, Gene, I went to this basketball game and it was some radio pep rallies type of thing. And they was telling me how much they hated Big, they hated Puff. Shit was crazy. So now, me and Puff is back at it. We going to a party at the House of Blues. And when we get up into the party, you know, I see Chaz and them from Black Hands. So, you know, Puff went up to him he's shadow boxing everything, and he caught Chaz with one. Chaz looked at him and he did like a quick jab, pop, to the sternum, and you could see Puff just lose his breath. And I was dying. And so niggas is looking at me like I supposed to do something. I was like, nigga, shit, he should have never swung on him. We should have never hit him. You know what I'm saying? Chaz knocked the fucking wind out of him. I was dying. You understand? You know, I work for Chaz too. I used to run Black Hand Security, and you know, like him and Puff's birthday on the same day and shit. So they knew each other good. So, you know, guys who was around didn't know their relationship, but I knew their relationship. So when niggas try to, like, you know, Puff little friends or people was, you know, trying to, you know, rear up, Chaz had a mob right there. I had to intervene, like, yo, man, get out. They family. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And that was it. So we watched, I don't know, I think it was LL perform, you understand? L gave an incredible show and shit like that, but Big and them wasn't there. You know, none of the times we went to any place, I never saw Big, but I always saw Puff on the phone with him after we went to one of those places. Yo, man, I thought you was coming. Was you in the studio? And Big would be like, yo, nah, or yeah, or whatever like that. He said, man, you messing up my studio time. You understand? You know, you messing up my money like that. You know, you got to be in the studio. You know, so Big album was finished, and I guess he was working on Puff album or whatever at the time, because Big shit was finished. So now we going someplace else the next day, and Puff is always calling this kid, talking about, yo, you going? So now he said, all right, I want you to go to this Vibe party. The Vibe party comes up. And Big was like, I'm not going to be here for that. You know, Big was telling me he wasn't going to be there because he was supposed to go to London. So now I hear Puff get on the phone with Kirk Burroughs. Kirk Burroughs was the president of Bad Boy at the time. He the one, and this is way back when we was doing, and niggas don't know this, you know, that from day one before all the other security, all the other bodyguards, then we was doing the red zone and the building, unsigned hype and everything like that. You know, Puff went through the same gang shit about 91 or 92. You understand? So about when he was with Uptown Records, he used to do unsigned hype over at a club called The Building. You understand what I'm saying? I was with Puff then. I was with Puff on Wednesday night at the Red Zone, way before anybody. Me and him used to take the money to Kirk Burroughs. You understand? So now, he called Kirk Burroughs, chewed Kirk Burroughs the fuck out and tell him, yo, Big ain't going nowhere. You understand? Big ain't going nowhere. I said, damn, this nigga, you know, cussed him the fuck out. Ain't that Big, you know, I'm thinking, ain't that Big choice whether he going there or not? He told him to kill it, don't pay for him, don't do nothing, don't fly him, don't do none of that shit. He not going to London. So when I hear people say, oh, Big supposed to been in London and, you know, Big stopped that and stuff. No, Big ain't stopped none of that. Because London was going to give him 25 G's or something like that for going over there. I don't know why I can't tell you why right now. You understand? Other than I know for a fact that Puff stopped him from going to London and kept him in Cali and kept trying to get him to the, you know, listen here, you going to this party, man? And I don't think Big had no interest in going in the parties. And I say this and prove me wrong. Show me a picture other than that vibe party that Big went to. Ask his crew, ask Lil C's, how many parties y'all went to when y'all was in Cali? So now, I go to, I call Kirk Burroughs again. I like, yo, Kirk. And I'm speaking with him about the security shit out here. And I told him, Arista is calling me for, you know, Social Security numbers and everything like that so they could pay me and everything like that. So I said, yo, Kirk, why ain't no fucking security out here, bruh? You know, again, Gene, nothing I could do. Puff ain't paying for no more security. That was basically it. You understand? So now, we getting ready to go to this vibe party. And I get an eerie feeling that whole day. You understand? Just the night before, I had a day off where Puff just told me to chill. I can do whatever I want to do. And I'm at the Beverly Hills Hotel just chilling, ordering whatever I wanted to order, doing whatever I wanted to do. You know, had some friends come over. And this dude, I get a phone call in the middle of the night. And I was like, what? He said, yo, Mace is trapped up in the Century Club. Niggas won't let him come out. I'm like, what? Yeah, Mace is trapped. I ain't getting paid for Mace. All I have to worry about is Puff. So next thing you know, I get a call from Puff and Paul and say, yo, Gene, go to Mace over Century Club and get Mace out of there. So I take the limo driver take me over to the Century Club. You know, I load up Nene and Nene. And I go outside the Century Club. So Mace is coming down. Now, I said, tell Mace when you get ready to leave, come downstairs. You know, so whoever, you know, they called on the cell phone. Mace is coming down the steps. I'm at the door. You know, I said, what the fuck is going on? He said, no, everything good, everything good, Gene. I said, motherfucker, if everything good, I wouldn't be here. You understand? Mace went back, you know, Mace got them in their cars, and they left. So I go back, enjoy my day, and next day, I hear we going to the Vibe party. Now, when I first went out to Cali, or this particular trip we was going out to Cali, we wasn't supposed to be partying doing that. That's what I was told. You know what I'm saying? No party, we just gonna do studio time, do Soul Train, and that was it. It was the opposite. it was a whole different story for me and the dude Puff. Like I said, we was going everywhere, and everywhere he went, he was calling Big out to come out. Big would never show up. So this one particular day, he shows up. We're at Andre Harrell's house. You understand? So now, I get a call from my man, Jay. He used to run with Jodeci, Dalvin and Devontae, the younger brother, a good friend of his. Jay was from somewhere in North Carolina with them and stuff like that, but he was a big dude. He was a good dude out there. Cali had a lot of people, a lot of friends out there. You know what I'm saying? He used to hold, you know, Devontae and them down. So now, you know, me and him chop it up and everything like that. So he said, you know, I get a call from him that day. He said, yo, I don't think y'all should go nowhere, man. You know, I think it's going to be real ugly tonight. I like, yeah. I said, yeah, all right. I had already got a call from Unique telling me to vest up. You understand? Which I called Kirk Burroughs and I told him about that. So now, I'm feeling a certain way, you know, because I just had this like, the fuck is we going to this Vibe party? And it's the last night we're supposed to be in California. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's good right now. None of us are touched. Everybody can go home safe. We could chill right here. Andre Harrell got the pool in there, the whole 9 yards. What the fuck is we going to this Vibe party for? So I'm sitting at the table. He had this big wooden table. And this is like 15, 16 guys. They talking, going back and forth. So I get on the phone with my man, you know, Slick, from Slick and the Family. It's my brother. I said, yo, I got this feeling, man, you know what I'm saying? The shit is about to go down tonight. He said, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They was in the game room because I was calling the payphone right there on 112th and 8th Avenue. You understand? So now, Slick comes to the phone and I said, yo, man, I got this eerie feeling, man, that this shit is about to go down tonight. I done got too many warnings and everything like that, man. And he says to me, he said, yo, all I know, man, if something happened to you, that nigga can't come back to New York like that. I got something for his ass. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. He said, but listen, if you feel that way, don't go. Fuck him. I said, nah, I ain't gonna leave him out like that, bro. I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna talk to this nigga Puff first. So I made that phone call from Andre Harrell's phone. You understand? I made it from his house phone. So I hung up the phone and I went toward, I said, yo, Paul, where Puff at? Puff is upstairs. I was like, I was at the bottom of the stairs and I said, yo, Puff. I said, yo, Puff. He was upstairs with Kim. You know what I'm saying? So Puff came to the top of the steps. She's sitting in this white robe and everything like that. I said, yo, Puff, I got too many warnings, man, that niggas is coming to get us tonight. That nigga said out of his mouth, yo, Gene, I don't want to hear that shit. If you don't want to go, you ain't got to go. But I don't want to hear that shit. I said, yo, Puff, I got some good intel, bro. This shit is serious. He said, you ain't got to go? I said, yeah, all right then, man. So I went back to the table and I sat down. So these niggas is laughing and joking and everything like that. So I got this fucking feeling. I just hit the fucking table. I said, boom, boom, boom. And niggas looked at me, was like, yo, Gene, what the fuck is wrong? I said, niggas, I'm telling this nigga that niggas is coming to get us tonight, and niggas ain't paying attention to this shit. And the dude, D. Mac, who used to, you know, run with us, and he was a Crip out there, he said, yo, bro, we lock and load together. We lock and load together. I said, I don't see none of you niggas locking. I don't see none of you niggas loading. Fuck is y'all talking about? Got up from the table and walks outside. When I walk outside, who do I walk into? It's Big sitting in the car, C's behind him. D-Rock and Tone is fucking with a little basketball goal, and they had some kind of Nerf ball that is just fucking around with it. So when I seen them niggas, the first thing came on my mouth was like, yo, Big, these niggas is coming to get us, dog. Just like that. And Lil C said out of his mouth, yo, Gene, go ahead with that old cop shit. You think you know everything. Fuck out of here with that. And then I said, I know one thing, you better get you a GED. You know what that is, Lil C? That's a good enough degree. So they don't cheat you out your money like they did your man over here. And then Big said right out of his mouth, yo, Gene, go ahead on with that bullshit before I have Tone and D-Rock hold you while Lil C's get his shit off. I said, yeah? I said, all that shit sound good. It may make you feel good, but it won't be healthy.
Hey, this is Big Gene from Raw Deal, the last big night. I want to thank the people for supporting the first and second installment, and hope you enjoy, well, not really enjoy, but hope this is more informative, the third installment, than the first two. I hope it gave you a light on the atmosphere of what we were going on between Death Row and Bad Boy at the time of Biggs and Tupac demise. I appreciate you individuals who have been viewing everything and being supportive and really getting into it, and know that me doing this documentary this year wasn't the first time I started. First and foremost, at the week after Big got murdered, I spoke with Lisa Everett of Street Soldiers back in '97 and we met at a restaurant over by the Beacon Theater, and I was telling her about the incident, what happened out there at California, but it never made the news. I also talked to Conrad Muhammad, who was over the Nation of Islam, the FOIs out here in New York City, based on the fact of the killer, how he was dressed, and the incident that we had with some guys out there from the Nation of Islam. I was on MTV the first time they aired something about the Notorious B.I.G. I was on VH1, Famous Crime Scenes. Also did Biggie Tupac. And each one of those individuals and each one of those companies, I stayed 3 to 5 hours shooting with them, telling the story. But you only got bits and pieces of it. In 2004, a full documentary was done by Ricardo McKendricks Jr., formerly or allegedly a part of the Junior Black Mafia in Philadelphia, he was picked up in 2004 also by the Alphabet Boys for being allegedly a drug dealer, and all the property and everything that was done with the documentary was taken also. So the footage and everything that we had was gone. And it was completely done. Miss Wallace was a part of it. She was in it. A lot of different other individuals, right? So I went throughout the years trying to get the story out, you know, people paying for me to come and speak and talk about the story on their documentaries or on their footage, their films and everything like that. But the fans was only getting bits and pieces of the story, and I was getting tired of, you know, Puffy actually telling his story and lying by telling his story. You know, he wasn't being truthful at all. And people want to sit there and say, well, and I said this before, he take the humanistic value out of this story because we made some mistakes, and the mistakes that were made took somebody's life, took somebody away from their father, took somebody away from their mother, took somebody away from their friends and their fans. The mistakes that he made. You understand? So, like I said, if you got a chance, if you haven't viewed it and you just turning into the third installment, you may want to go back and check out 1 and 2 and some of the other YouTube things. And anybody who's telling you, and I'm letting you know this right now, I haven't made a dime off none of this. I don't have none of this shit monetized. I'm not one of those individuals who's telling you the truth about or the real reason and all this other shit to get you to come to their sites. And they don't come out their living room. They never been nowhere. Nobody never talked about them. They never been with nobody, but they want to make you believe about the truth about what happened and they wasn't even there. So let me jump into this and get this shit on the road. I left you guys, we was at Andre Harrell's house. I had talked to Puff and to tell him about the information that I had received regarding the guys that are coming to kill us tonight. He tried to make it seem like that on films and records that he didn't know about none of this stuff. When Wolf actually told him, yo, we're not going out there right. I'm not going out there unless we're right. I want to take 2 tour bus of my cats from the Valley, Co-op City, Edomore, you know, all his dudes he had over there, you know, Ock, Prince, Caviar, AKA Ali, you know what I'm saying? All the guys that he knew from up on the hill that time, that he was going to get a busload, 2 busloads of guys, and it wouldn't have cost nothing because they mans them on the tour bus to get those guys to come and roll with us. So for him to say that he didn't know that we had problems, come on. We had got blamed for, Bad Boy had got blamed for Suge Knight Man dying in Atlanta. Bad Boy had got blamed, you know, for running with the cats who killed Tupac. So he had to know going out to Cali, somebody got to die. Those guys in California was not going to let anybody from Bad Boy or even New York that they knew come out there and party, have fun, be with their girls, drink up, and go back to New York and without nobody being touched. Anybody with common sense knew that. So you had to be out there for Cali for a reason. And people think, yo, Big was a fool for being out there. He shouldn't have been out there. Big was trying to support his family, bruh. Big was trying to get money on his contract and get money from Puff. He was working on Puff album out there. Puff had him come out there to work on his album. Like I said before, Big album was completed. He was working on Puff album. Why? They got plenty of studios in New York. So he out there working on Puff album. So not to jump the gun, let's get back to Andre Harrell's house. Puff know from me that I said it. He told me, Gene, you ain't got to go. Paul was right there when I told Puff. Paul offered. He was right there when I told Puff. He just looked at me and put his head down. I walked away. Went into the next room, the other guys in there. I bang on the table after I make my phone call to my brother Slick and told him, these guys talking, oh, we lock and load. I went through that whole thing with y'all. I go outside. And to my surprise, Big sitting in the car right there in the driveway. Lil C's behind him. On part 2, I told you what I said. After I said what I said, next thing you know, Puff is coming right out the door. Told me, come on, y'all, let's go. So we all load up to go to the vibe party. Big had a friend that was driving also outside our convoy, and it was some cat in a Land Cruiser. It could have been white or off-white pearl color with Pennsylvania plates. He was also riding with us. So we all go and we on our way to the vibe party. So we get to the door, and by surprise, guess who I see? Chris Lattimore. Chris Lattimore and Puff is in business on parties all over the country. And all over parts of third world, because they did the Cancun thing for years. You understand? At Daddy-O's. I used to be at the front door at Daddy-O's, you know, making sure everybody get in. So I see Chris Lattimore, and that's when the light bulb ring on. I say, oh shit. Puff trying to get big at this party because him and Chris Lattimore is breaking out some kind of money because they getting paid to do this from Vibe. So they gotta get big here. You understand? And I stood right there and I just looked at Chris. And he said, how many guys you got? I said, I don't know. So I stood at the door while everybody got in, and it was 23 of us all together, right? So we went up there, and he took us upstairs. Like I said, Big had to really take his time because I know now the bones, his femur or fibular bones are broken in his thighs or fractured. You understand? So we taking our time. We go to the very back, the very end of where the party's at. We got a table set back there. You understand? So I see Ed Lover, and they got another DJ in there, but Ed Lover, he's the MC on the microphone and everything like that. Say what else, Ed? We continue to the back, we go back there and we sit Big them down. Puff told the guy, yo, bring me all the bottles you got. I don't care, bring me all the bottles you got left. You understand? And we're sitting down. I'm the individual that's directly behind the Notorious B.I.G. And if you ever see the picture, it was Ed Lover, Big, Puff, and they got my head cut off, but I got a number 4 and a Mecca Audio shirt because not Mecca Audio, a Mecca shirt, because I used to always wear Mecca things. Puff used to get mad at me. He wanted us to wear Sean John, or he wanted to wear his stuff, and I would never wear it. I would wear Mecca. I used to like Mecca stuff. Mecca had some, some fly shit back in the day, and they used to, keep me with boxes and fresh jerseys and everything like that. So I used to wear their stuff. And Puff used to get mad at me. My man, listen to him, I ain't no billboard for you. You understand? And then he was like, yeah, he knew that he couldn't run me like that. You understand? Listen, only thing ever been regular about me was the gas I pump. You understand? I enjoy dressing and dressing how I wanted to do it, and Sean John wasn't a thing for me. So now, even though later on Wolf used to make sure that I got boxes and everything like that, because at the time I was only getting, a few things here and there. But then Wolf was like, yo, Gene should be getting boxes too. So, either go down there and mail them to you and everything like that. So we back at the Vibe party, and I'm behind Big. So Puff told me, yo, don't go nowhere. Stay directly behind, stay with Big all the time. I looked at him, and he was running back and forth in the party. You understand? Going up to the DJ booth and everything like that. And they just started playing Hypnotized like crazy. You understand? And, Puff was coming, bringing girls up to Big and everything like that. He said, he's telling Big, yo, Big, we're going to give a swim party at Andre Harrell's house tomorrow. You understand? I'm getting these girls, I'm picking out girls at the crowd to come. And he'll bring the girls over. He said, yo, Gene, she gonna come to the party tomorrow. And so then I said, yeah, all right. So then he'll run back, leave again, you understand? And Big was over there drinking and everything. So Big told Lil C's, yo, Lil C's, go find some smoke. Cause they didn't even have no smoke, you know what I'm saying? So he said, Lil C's, go find some smoke. So Lil C's went out and C's brought 3 girls back. And I think they may have been from Brooklyn, I'm not for sure, but I think they overheard them say they had family in Brooklyn or they were from Brooklyn. So they stayed on the right side of Big at the time, and then they moved over towards the left side. So D-Rock came over to me, and D-Rock said to me, he said, yo, Gene, I ain't never seen you look like this. What's up, bruh? I said, yo, Rock, these niggas is coming at us tonight. And Rock said, yeah, all right, man, I got you. He stayed to the right side of Big, like looking at Big the whole time, didn't take his eye off of him and didn't move. Rock ain't drink nothing, Rock ain't smoke nothing. He kept his eye on Big the whole time. You understand? And I was behind Big. So what I did was I took Nina and put her under my shirt, and I kept her in my hand the whole time. You know, I was behind Big. So Puff would come back every once in a while and be like, yo, Gene, remember her? Yo, Gene, remember her? Yo, and Big said, how the fuck is Gene gonna remember all these girls you bringing up? So then Puff went away again, and so he started, you know, going to the DJ booth, and they was playing Hypnotize, you know, and one guy came up, he had a Death Row pin on, he had a suit on. He said, yo, man, you know, I'm from Death Row, but I just want to let y'all know, yo, I just want to meet Big. Yo, Big, this shit is about the music, bro. You know what I'm saying? All this other shit, I can give a fuck about it. Big said, yeah, all right. So then these other group of guys came from, and I remember them, and it was Keefy D. It was Keefy D and a couple other dudes, you know what I'm saying, like that was with him. And Big got like he didn't even know him or he didn't remember him or something like that. And I remember them because we was shooting dice in the hotel in Vegas, and we was shooting dice in the hotel in California. You understand? He was come up there with D-Mac, and he would come with, and Tretch would come up there. Tretch came up there one time and they was shooting dice. It was all us, it was Tretch, Keefy D, D-Mac, me, and Puff was in his room at the time, and Tretch had OJ daughter on his arm. She's a fine little thing. I forgot her name. Again, I don't know if it was Olivia or something like that. I don't remember OJ daughter's name, but she was with Tretch. But she was nice. Tretch used to, we was on the road with Tretch on that Jodeci tour, and he was the man all the time. He would go out with us to the parties and everything like that. We have time off, we rip and run, but Tretch always was nice. And Tretch used to always like to gamble with Puff. They used to do some old dumb shit, whereas they'll throw 10,000 down and say whoever got the highest roll. You know, one roll. Whoever threw the highest, they pick up the money. I was like, oh shit. So when Puff came out the room, they started that shit again, and I just got out the dice day. I'm not losing my money like that. Fuck that one roll shit. Nah, I'm not doing that. So that's when I met Keefy D and them at the hotel from gambling. And I remember him, you know what I'm saying, because all us went to Vegas one time, you know what I'm saying, from out the concert. They was doing a concert in Vegas. So we left LA we all drove down to Vegas like that to do this little concert thing. And remember them from the hotel and gambling. So I said, yo, Big, yo, this is keeping them like that. They some shot callers out here like that. Big said, yo, what's up, man? What's going on? Gave him a pound and everything like that. And that was it. They stayed, you know, to the right side over there in front of, behind like D-Rock. You understand? So next thing you know, the, you know, party jumping and everything like that. And I, you know, put Nina away and I wrote on a piece of paper, and this shit is like some fucking serious satire. I put, I'll remember on the paper. So Puff came on and said, yo, Gene, make sure you remember her. And Big say, look behind me, say, man, you ain't gonna fucking, you go, Gene, for real? And then I put the paper up like this, I'll remember. And Big started laughing. You understand? The kids started laughing. And, you know, they started smoking with the girls that were either from Brooklyn or they knew somebody from Brooklyn. It was 3 of them. And they started smoking with them. They was laughing. They was having fun. And we up in the museum where it was like cars that was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. You understand? So next thing you know, they start saying that the fire department is going to shut the party down because it was too much smoke. It was too much smoke. So that's what they did. They shut the party down. So when the party got shut down and we said that we were going to, leave, we made that decision that we started to leave, I knew it was going to take Big them a certain time to get down the steps because of this situation. So what I did was I gave Nina to Paul and I said, yo, Paul, watch Big. I'll be right back. So when I went downstairs, I got the drivers. They had, Kenny and G them. We had the 2 Suburbans right in front of the door. So when you hear Lil C say, our Suburbans drove up and stuff, like, nah, they was already downstairs before we even got there because I made sure they was in front of the door that we came into, so we'll leave and we could just jet up out of there. So now, Big is taking his time to get downstairs and everything like that. It was 23 of us. When I counted, it was 11. So I'm like, yo, where are all these motherfuckers who was with us? And they talking about we lock and load together. And where they at? They had already made a decision to go to Steve Stout's house because he was giving a swim party and a pool party in one of the mansions up in the hill in Cali. So they had already left us there. So that 23 that we was locking and loading together had turned into 11. You understand? So now we come downstairs, Big gets in his car. Puff don't get in the car yet. Puff is acting like he looking for somebody and looking like he's steady trying to go get girls to bring them up to me so we can leave. So I'm like, this ain't like dude right here. When Puff leave a party, if security ain't ready and the driver there, he will jump in there and leave your ass. This is this kid M.O. I've been with him for years, but Puff is looking back and forth and going to get girls. And then I'm like, yo, Big, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Why we ain't leaving? He said, yo, check your man. And I'm like, yo, Puff, what's up? He said, we got to wait for Paul and them to get their car out. And I was like, wait for Paul and them? Paul and them ain't got their car? This guy is an Inglewood police officer. How he having problems getting his car? He from out there. You understand? Flash your badge, tell him to go get your shit, and that's it. Matter of fact, you should have been had your car. So now we drive to the opposite side of the museum. Now, on the other side, it's the fire department, the police department, because some ruckus or something had happened all the way on the other side. See, people got it confused. They say it was 1,000 people out at the museum and they got let out. Nah, bruh. They was on the whole other side of the museum. You understand? We was on the opposite side and there was nobody out there. It was nobody to the right side of that museum because when we pulled out to the driveway, we stopped. We waiting for Paul and the guy from Inglewood to get their truck out. Any other time, Puff would have left them, called them on a cell phone and told them, yo, this is where we at. This is the address. This is where we going. But he stood right there. So Puff is in the driveway of the museum. Big is right directly behind him. You understand? We waiting for Paul's car. We waiting for Paul and them to get in their car. So now Puff is sitting in the car. So I'm playing the wall, watching Puff. And this one guy comes up. He has a white T-shirt with blue stripes. So he just came through and walked through the museum like that. So I looked at him, was nothing. He left, looked at the museum, stuff like that, then he went back down the street. I said, okay. So I said, went to Paul. Paul still had my girlfriend with him.
You understand? I said, Paul, you see the guy in the blue and white shirt? He said, nah, what's up? I said, nothing. You understand? He said, Puff, I said, yo, Puff good, he's straight. So we stood out there. They still having a problem getting their car. So this other guy comes up. He has the blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie, peanut hair. He walks up there like he walking towards Puff's car. You understand? At this time, I got Nina under my shirt, because listen here, I know how boys in Cali roll. My brother used to be out there in Sacramento. You understand? And them niggas do drive-bys, bike-bys, whatever. You understand? And I go by this law all the time. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So I got that shit right up under my shirt. You understand? And dude walks up, and he's about 10 feet from Puff car and from me. And I lowered my arm, and he looked me dead in my face. I looked him in his face. He ain't say nothing. Now, the reason why I'm looking like, because I'm thinking he doing security out there, because he dressed like he from the Nation of Islam. But I still remember, you know, the situation we had with the Nation of Islam inside Soul Train. And I still remember what Mustafa told me, that's Farrakhan's son. He said, when a brother from the Nation of Islam look you in the eye, he is taught to humble himself by saying, Assalamu alaikum. This motherfucker ain't said nothing. So right now, I'm on point with him. He looked me in the eye, and he know at this time, if he does something, he ain't getting paid for me doing nothing to me. He don't get no kudos for that. If he coming to do something. He turns and walk right back down the street which he came from. And I seen him walk away until he got out of my sight. You understand? So now I go to Paul. I say, Paul, is the Nation of Islam doing security here? You know that? He's like, yo, I don't know. I said, yo, this dude just walked up to Puff's car. And he said, yeah? I said, yeah, he walked up to Puff's car. He said, what happened? I said, nothing. He good again, right? So now I said, are we ready? He said, yeah. So now we drive onto the side of the museum. Now his car's parked all the way along the side of the museum, all the way to the corner. We on the side of those cars, right? So the first 5 or 6 cars, there was nobody in those cars. I checked, I seen, was nobody in those cars. It was about 4 or 5 cars up in front of us. I didn't go check those cars. You understand? So now we on the side of the museum and we about ready to go. So I go, Paul and them is in their car now. I said, yo, Paul, you straight? You straight. I said, you all right? He said, you all right. Paul give me, no, he still had Nina. He still had my girlfriend with him. You understand? I said, yeah, all right, cool. I said, we're about to go. He said, where we going? I said, we're going to Steve Stout's house. You know, Puff got a call and they got a party up there in the hills or whatever like that. You understand? He said, yeah, we going? I said, yeah. I said, we ready? We ready. So now Puff get in the car. You know, Puff is already in the car and everything like that. So then Puff is telling me to get in the car. I said, yo, dog. I said, y'all just go ahead. I'm going to ride on the side of the car. At that time, you know what I'm saying, I'm 6'7". I was 265. I'm 6'7", 315 now. At the time, I was 265. I was a lot lighter. So I said, yo, I'm going to ride on the side of the car till we get the next 3 blocks. Puff was like, yo, Gene, we don't need that. I said, what are you talking about? We don't need that. He said, yo, Gene, we don't need that shit. I said, yo, bro, don't tell me how to do my job. He said, yo, Gene, if you don't get in this car right now, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy again. I said, bro, you gonna tell me how to do my job? He said, yo, Gene, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy again. So all those little pictures you see and everything like that, and Puff car getting ready, taking off, I'm the last one getting in the car, you understand? Because we had that exchange right there. You understand? And I got in the car. Now this motherfucker got his seat all the way back. I'm 6'7". He got his seat back. So and like that, he doing that shit on purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm on the seat, you know, with my legs sideways. You understand? Because this motherfucker won't let his seat up. I tell Kenny was our driver at the time. He's from California. And I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. He said, why? I said, Kenny, let me drive then, bro. If you ain't gonna run the next 3 lights, let me drive. And Kenny said, yeah, all right. So now we run the light. After I checked the scene with Paul, everybody good, yeah, everybody straight, everybody fine. Paul said, yeah, everybody fine. We go and we run that light. As we run the light, Tone, who's in the car with me and Puff, Tone said, Bignum ain't coming. Bignum stopped at the light. So Tone could see, because Tone was sitting behind me. I could only see in front of me and to the side because I couldn't turn all the way around because of my legs. Tone said, yo, Bignum ain't coming through the light. Those 3 girls that was on the side that Bignum was talking to, you understand, at the party, they were still talking to him downstairs as we was on the outside. So I guess they were still talking to him on the corner. You understand? Now, we run the light. Bignum stopped at the light. It was a flashing red light. Bignum stopped at the light, right? The car that was parked on the corner and Bignum got ready to take off is the car. Listen to what I'm saying. It was the car that parked on the corner of the museum. We never left the museum. Bignum never left the museum when Big was shot. So when Lil C's and everybody say, your car pull up, yeah, the car did pull up. He was right parked at the corner. The car was parked at the corner. So when Lil C's got ready to take off, he got ready to make the right there. Already parked there. Been parked there all night. It was a setup. Nothing beats an ambush. It was a setup. That car was parked there all night. So dude pulls to the side like this and start blasting. Tone said, yo, somebody pointing a gun at Bignum. He sees everything. I'm trying to turn around. So now I go to open my door. When I go to open the door, you hear something go, bap, 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 bap. The fucking Kenny guns the gas. Not going back, going forward. I'm like, yo, Kenny, what the fuck is you doing, bro? He said, yo, somebody shoot. Yeah, they shooting that big nigga. Turn this motherfucker around, Kenny. Kenny, we don't know. He just said they shooting at Bignum. You understand? So now, Kenny stops the car, backs up, do a U-turn, turn the corner, and start driving towards Bignum. This motherfucker takes off or to the right, driving. He takes off, driving. We stopped the car right in front of Big's car. Puff talking about he ran to the fucking car. Motherfucker, you got out right in front of the car. Because when the guns went off, you grab your fucking head, put your head down in the motherfucking seat of your car. I'm looking at your ass. Tone is looking back, Stevie J is looking back, and I'm trying to look back. So we got in front of Big's car. Puff runs around our car and go to Big's side. Now, I'm behind Puff. Everybody in Big car is going to look like a fucking airplane. All the doors is open, except Big's. Puff said, yo, you hit, man, you all right? You all right? You all right? Big, you all right? Big ain't say a motherfucking word then. You understand? Big ain't saying nothing. Tone said, yo, Gene, come on. Me and Tone hops in the car. Tone backs that motherfucker up. He start flying. We see the car going down, you know, going up the street. Tone trying to push that shit. Tone doing 90. He trying to do 100, but every time he trying to do this fucking 100, the car go, had a government chip in that motherfucker. Then anytime you try to do over 100, that shit'll go all the way back down. Tone was cussing like a motherfucker saying, yo, I wish I had my truck. I wish I had my motherfucking truck, man. This shit is crazy. You understand? So we steady trying to get close to this motherfucker. We couldn't get close to this motherfucker. We see this nigga, this dude in the car, take a motherfucking right at the top of the hill or top of it like that, and then we get up there, he gone. Tone, I said, yo, Tone, let's get back, man. Them niggas might need us. So we get back to the museum. They still in the same place. I said, anybody call the police? Anybody call 911? Stevie J said he called them and everything like that. You understand? So then D-Rock them, before I left, before I left? Yeah, before I left, D-Rock said, oh shit. He grabbed his motherfucking head like this. He said, yo, they got my man. They got my motherfucking man. You understand? So now we back at the scene. Me and Tony's back at the scene. They still haven't made the decisions. No ambulance there. There's no fire trucks. There's nothing. The ambulance, the fire truck was on the other side of the museum. It was still nobody out there. Wasn't no crowd ground around or none of that shit. So now, me being who I am, I go back to the museum. You understand? In the driveway. You understand? So I'm posted up and I'm just listening. They ain't made a move yet. So I'm in the corner right by where Puff, we came out the museum, and I see DJ Quick on Everything I Love. DJ Quick is on his cell phone. You understand? And DJ said, yo, one of them niggas from Bad Boy got shot. I think they got them niggas. Yo, they said they was going to get him. They said they was going to get him. Came straight out of his mouth. Came straight out of DJ Quick. I'm looking dead at him. So now I'm going towards him. He see me coming towards him. Nigga Paul run down, grab me. Yo, Gene, we about to go, man. Come on, why the fuck you down here? I was like, yo, man, all right. So then we run back to the car. Now we go back to the car, and we hop in the car. Puff is in the car with Big and them. So I said to them, right there, Puff is on the side right there, still consoling Big, saying something like, and Kenny got in their car now. Kenny was our driver at first. Puff said, you know what hospital at? You know what hospital? Because I guess they got tired of work waiting for the ambulance and everything. You understand? He said, well, you know what hospital? Kenny said, yeah, I know what hospital at. Now, we didn't know this at the time. A hospital was 2 blocks away. It was 2 blocks away. Puff got in the car. Now he's in Lil C's seat where Lil C's was at, behind Big. I said, whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. Don't let Big get to sleep. He was hit. I said, don't let him go to sleep. Keep talking to him. Keep him up. Don't let him go to sleep, whatever you do. Kenny said to Big, yo, Big, I'm going to get you to the hospital. Big put his head back and his eyes went to the top of his head and he said, just do it, man. That's the last thing I heard him say. So when Lil C's talk about he ain't say nothing, the man told Kenny, just do it. Put his head back and he said, just do it. So now we following Kenny and them to the hospital. Tone is cussing his motherfucking ass off. Saying, what's wrong with Kenny? Let's see, talking about, we was driving, going up on top of the curb and shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. Tone is my witness. Tone said, what the fuck is, what Kenny going? Why is he driving like that? He should be running lights, dodging and everything like that. He was doing that. He'll stop at the fucking light, then wait and see if it's all clear, then go in the whole 9 yards. Come on, man. Tone said, I wish I knew where the hospital was at. Tone, ask him. He know I ain't lying. He said, I wish I knew where the hospital was at. So we driving this motherfucker and stuff like that. And Tone them come like, yo, this shit is playing out in my motherfucking head. I didn't know who did the shooting at the time or none of that. This shit is playing out in my head. I'm like, oh shit. You understand? So now
we get to the hospital. Somebody running the hospital. They get the gurney with the attendant, the doctors, and everybody run out. So we got to get Big out the car. So now we open the door. I'm on the right side of Big. I think D-Rock is inside. He got to lift him up, and Paul is on the left side. Yo, so we trying to move Big legs off. So when we go to move his legs, I see that he had urinated and his pants was wet all around. So I dropped his leg. Like, oh shit. And I said to myself, yo, this kid is dead. And then I got back on top of it and I grabbed him. And when I grabbed him and as we lifting him, I could smell that he had defecated on himself. So I knew he was dead. So I was fucked up. So we get him on the thing, they rush him inside. So now, I guess they was on the phone and the hospital and those 23 motherfuckers who was locking and loading with us, they done made it to the hospital, left Steve Stout house and everything like that, or they just made it or didn't make it or whatever like that. And it's all these motherfuckers in the emergency rooms talking shit, talking about, yo, that's Notorious B.I.G. I was like, yo, y'all get the fuck out this hospital right now and let these people do their fucking job. Clear this motherfucker out, because the hospital people was trying to clear him out, you understand, but they wasn't doing that and they was making a lot of noise and there was other patients, there was other people there. You understand, something like that? So I helped them clear a motherfucker out the hospital. So when they clear out the hospital, I go and I get on my phone. I'm calling Unc, calling Zip, and I'm calling Chaz. Chaz is telling me, yo, I'm on my way over there, man. I was on my way over to the museum, you understand? But I'm on my way over there now, you understand? Chaz got a couple of cars with dudes all in and everything. He know the deal, you know. He said, y'all gonna be all right, man. You just, yo, Gene, I'm on my way. I said, all right, cool. Unc talking about, yo, I'm on my way. Everybody talking about they on their way. So now I go back into the hospital, you know, I go back into the room like that. So you think this Puff runs out the hospital door from the back. The nigga Puff came out and he grabbed my arms. And when he grabbed both of my arms, he said, yo, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. I said, I pushed his hands down. I said, pray for what? That nigga's dead. And walked out the hospital door. And I didn't mean it in the way, I was just hurt, because nigga, you ain't listen to me. You knew somebody had to die. You knew coming out to Cali, you know, after we've been blamed for the Suge Knight's a man in Atlanta, after we was blamed for dealing with the people, you understand, who killed Pac. You understand? You knew somebody had to die, bro. And if you didn't know, nigga, you should have known. So I pushed his hands off me, you understand, and walked back out the hospital door. So now, come back in. Paul said, yo, Gene, we got to get Puff to San Diego. They about to fly him out. I said, what? He said, yeah, we about to get Puff to San Diego. They're gonna fly him out. Andre Harrell is setting them up so they could get him on a jet in San Diego, on a private jet to fly him out. I said, what about everybody else? He's like, I don't know, man. I said, yeah, all right, cool. So everybody loads up except C's, D-Rock, and the media people that was with Big and them. And we about to take Puff to San Diego. Me and Groovy Lou go back to the hotel, you understand, and pack all of his shit up. You understand? pack all Puff shit up and everything like that, because the night before that, he had company. You understand? And then Groovy Lou was finna pack her shit up. I said, that ain't Kim shit, nigga. You better not pack that in Puff shit. You understand? Because Sally Richardson had left that shit there the night before that. Because she was at the party with us, because Puff want to show the fuck off. He got Kim, Sally Richardson, them sitting right there at the motherfucking same table, at the same moment, act like he's some kind of boss ass nigga with his baby mama and his mistress's girlfriend right there at the same motherfucking time, nigga. You showing off and this kid die because you want to show your motherfucking ass off at some fucking vibe party. We get all that shit up. I throw her shit in the garbage and everything like that. Lou taking shit like that. I stay at the motherfucking hotel because Chaz was following us. Chaz was following us with a convoy of people. And Paul stopped the motherfucking van and said, yo. I said, what's up? He said, yo, who that? I said, nigga, that's Chaz and them. Nigga, I called them. He said, yo, Puff said we don't need all that. I said, nigga, we don't need all that. Nigga, Big just got killed. What the fuck you don't mean we need all that? We don't know who gonna roll up on us, bruh. So, Chaz and them see me back to the hotel. It was at the Beverly Hills. And the next day, I hear Puff has already made it to motherfucking New York. Chaz and them they took me out to some garlic steakhouse and everything. And he was like, yo, listen here, man, you ready to go? They put me on the plane and everything like that. And I come back to New York. And that's when, you know, my phone is on fire, everything is going up. I'm calling, you know. While I was out there, I called Slick, I called Shay. I was telling her, yo, little Shay, yo, Big got killed. She used to come to all our, you know, she used to hang out and, you know, be out there, smoke with them in the whole 9 yards and just be at all the parties, a good friend of mine. I called a couple family members, people that I knew, and they couldn't believe it. They said, yo, that shit is all over the radio. All over the radio. So, that's what happened. And you know about the part with Big funeral and stuff like that, and I wasn't able to go to Big funeral. You understand? Because Bad Boy and Puff and them, you know, through, you know, his office and his team, the people who was handling the media and everything like that, and the questioning and everything like that, they kind of made it seem like I had something to, like, because I knew something. Nigga, who didn't know something was going to happen? Anybody could have told you that those cats was not going back to their block and say, you know what I'm saying, yo, we let Bad Boy and them come out here and party. We let Bad Boy and them come out and nothing happened to nobody. Niggas couldn't even go back to their block with that shit. Cause the motherfucker Punk would have told them straight up and down, how the fuck you gonna beat me up and shit like that? You ain't do none of them niggas from Bad Boy when they came out here and party. They came out here, smoked their weed. They came out here, fuck y'all girls. They came out here drunk and had a good time in California, and y'all ain't do nothing to them. But you gonna beat me up? What a nigga gonna say? They knew they had to do something. You knew they had to do something. Somebody had to die, bruh. So, I was the scapegoat. They told the LAPD, my whole government, where I worked at, They came to my job. You understand? They told the FBI, Phil Carson. He came to my job. They didn't tell Ms. Wallace. God works in mysterious ways. Ms. Wallace kept saying, they said, ask Gene Deal, ask Gene Deal, ask Gene. He knew something was going to go down. She asked Puffy, yo, Puff, who is Gene Deal? Who is Gene? He said, I didn't know. I don't know who Gene was. You didn't know who Gene was? You told the LAPD. You told the FBI. But what happened, my fraternity brother, Bill Withers, he used to bodyguard Michael Jackson. He used to bodyguard Don King. But his last big job was Michael Jackson. He was there when Michael, was murdered, what I'm saying? Died. So Bill said, Ms. Wallace, I know Gene Deal. That's my fraternity brother. I'll call him right now. So he called me. She had made it back from LA, and I went to see her. I told her everything, what happened. I even told her the part how Big was found in the car. And she said, I seen tears come to her eyes. She said, I don't want to hear that. I said, Ms. Wallace, I just gave it to you 100 so you could say that I didn't tell you that or you didn't hear that, I just gave you everything 100. I'm sorry. She said, I don't want to hear that no more. So I'm sitting here in this black suit and I'm burying this part of my life. A friend of mine said to me, and this guy, he's well known. He used to be really known for slapping DJs. He said to me, you can't blame yourself. You told Big, you told Puff, and they knew better. But I understand Big needed the money, because he was in between contracts. He was scratching for money, he was asking for money, he was getting a loan from Puff actually when he was out there so he could take care of his business until his contracts come through. So, he said to me, my friend, he said, you can't blame yourself, Gene, because it's a certain thing that faith and that things just gonna happen and transgress. A lot of us can't do nothing about it. You just gotta go with it. And I said to him, bruh, in my mind, I knew it was dangerous. I knew it was wrong. But I was thinking about the paycheck. I was thinking about that this nigga wasn't going to pay me if I didn't go to that party with them. I was thinking about that this nigga wasn't going to pay me if I didn't get in the car with them. I should have manned the fuck up and said, yo, man, fuck you, fuck your money. And maybe it gave Big a out. And Big would have said, yo, nigga, your own security ain't going. Your own man ain't going. How the fuck you want me to go? I didn't give that man that out inside me. And that's going to always fuck with me. I didn't give that kid that out. So, whether it was God's plan or it was meant to be, I want people to know, whenever you feel deep down inside that something is right and you shouldn't do it, or you should do it, no matter what the motherfucking consequences, don't let $1 make your sense. Because God don't watch nothing but fools and babies. Thank you for watching Raw Deal. The last big night. Good night and goodbye.
Cut it out, y'all know I was coming. We gon' get it right, like the first time. It's a natural reaction. They start mixing the facts in. They put their story with your story, like that's really what happened. Women front for these fellas, fellas front for these women. It's a trait that's passed down from old heads right down to their children. Homie, don't be surprised, like you not living a lie. When them shells dump and you die, cause you be stunting and why? Look at me right in the eye, knowing you telling a lie. You go to hell and you fry, you won't be seeing your guide. Pretty and yellow Hummers, they riding 22s. I seen these cats off in the club with nobody like woo. Say these brothers some fools, thinking this stunting is cool. You should keep it real if it's something you know you don't do. If you don't really got it, don't gotta lie to get it. Don't tell me one thing out your mouth, you know it's something different. A lot of eyes is watching, a lot of ears is listening. You get caught up in your own lie cause we paying attention. If you don't really got it, don't gotta lie to get it. Don't tell me one thing out your mouth, you know it's something